used the wrong words in the wrong way, and for that I apologize.
Understatement. Right now, legitimate rape. Congressman Todd Akin in hot water for his controversial comments on abortion, but as calls for him to drop out of the race continue, he is refusing to back down. And next,
I'm going to continue to do everything I can to make sure that we keep our seniors healthy and the American people healthy.
the battle over Medicare. Mitt Romney's running mate's selection has ensured that Medicare will remain in the headlines. Paul Ryan may think he's got a winning plan, but voters may disagree. And later,
this is not just about playing golf. This is about the corridors of power in our country.
Women in green and on the greens. The glass ceiling at Augusta National shattered by two influential women. Where are the other glass ceilings in America? Good evening and welcome to RFL. I'm Andrew Whitman, in tonight for Richard French. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday evening, August the 21st. We have a lot to get to tonight, but we begin with the still simmering controversy over Congressman Todd Akin's comments about rape. He's facing increasing pressure from Republicans in Washington and in Missouri, but Senate candidate Todd Akin insists he's not going anywhere.
I want to make things absolutely clear, and that is we are going to continue with this race for the U.S. Senate.
Republicans are trying to push the embattled congressman out of the race against Senator Claire McCaskill after this controversial comment.
If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down.
Publicly, Akin has dug in his heels. He insists he's not dropping out. And in a new television ad this morning, he begs for forgiveness.
Rape is an evil act. I used the wrong words in the wrong way, and for that I apologize. The fact is, rape can lead to pregnancy.
In this highly charged election season, it was inevitable that the controversy would spill over to the presidential campaign. Yesterday, Mitt Romney quickly distanced himself from Akin.
His comments about rape were deeply offensive. And I can't defend what he said. I can't defend him.
President Obama also weighed in.
The views expressed were offensive. Rape is rape.
Akin's phone has been ringing off the hook as top Republicans put heavy pressure on him to drop out because they don't think they can beat vulnerable McCaskill with him in the race. The Republican Senate election campaign has said it will not spend the $5 million it set aside from the Missouri race if he is still the candidate. And Karl Rove's independent group has said it won't spend a dime on Akin and will pull its own $2 million out of the race. And there's more. The chorus of notable Republicans calling on Akin to get out of that race is growing.
If it was me, and I wouldn't say anything that dumb as he has, but if it was me and I had an opportunity to let someone else run to actually give ourselves a better chance of winning, I would step aside.
Sometimes that an election is bigger than one person, and I think you'd agree with that.
That's entirely my perspective, Sean.
And to me, I am very concerned, and I know many other conservatives are as well, because they have all written me today, that if you stay in this race and this becomes the defining issue of the race, and there is a timeline now in play here, that this could then put the entire state of Missouri, this Senate seat, and even the top of the ticket in jeopardy in Missouri.
These were reprehensible and deplorable comments, and there's no way he can recover, in my opinion.
Sean Hannity couldn't get Congressman Akin out of the race, and even the founder of the Tea Party Nation is calling on him to go, saying, quote, every Republican in Missouri should be calling the Missouri Republican Party, telling them to get rid of this idiot. But the deadline for Akin to withdraw his name from the ballot passed just a few moments ago at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. He can still withdraw up to September 25th, but would need to seek a court order to do so. So the question is, should Congressman Akin drop out of the Senate race? I want to bring in tonight's panel on this. Frank Morano, a radio talk show host. Thank you for joining us. Dominic Carter, political journal and author, and Jessica Proud, of course, Republican strategist and vice president at NLO Strategies. And let's just start with the simple question. Should Congressman Akin get out of this race?
Oh, absolutely. The only two people in the country at this point that don't think Todd Akin should get out of the race are Todd Akin and Claire McCaskill. She's out there making campaign contributions to him at the moment. He has about the same chance of becoming the senator from Missouri as I do, which is to say none at all. None at all, by the way, happens to be the same number of brain cells Todd Akin has. First of all, to make such an idiotic idiotic comment where he's consulting with these doctors who told him that women who are legitimately raped can't get pregnant. Who are these doctors? And then how do you misspeak? What is the misspeaking? Then to go a step farther and say, wait a minute, I misspoke. I didn't consult with doctors. I read it in medical reports. Where are these medical reports that he claimed this? It's outrageous. If the Republicans were smart, they would say, all right, whether Todd Akin gets out of the race or not, we are totally distancing ourselves from him, just like the Democrats did when some Lyndon LaRouche supporters won back in Illinois. And they'd get behind somebody like John Danforth, the former senator of Missouri, and say, we're urging all the Republicans in Missouri to vote for Danforth as a write-in candidate. Lisa Murkowski proved 2 years ago that Republicans can win as a write-in candidate.
Can the GOP pressure him out of the race at this point? Can they force him out?
Well, they still have till September 25th, and you're obviously seeing a huge push from all factions of the Republican Party, which rarely can unite in a way that they have on this issue. It's incredibly frustrating because I think there is such momentum and such a strong feeling among Republicans that taking the Senate is a critical victory in this coming election in November. So to say that, you know, that they're all going to come out after the polls come in and stuff like that, I don't know that that's necessarily going to be the case, but they do have till September 25th.
And if he's on the ballot and loses to McCaskill, that could be it for the Republicans' attempt to try to win back the Senate. But Dom, I was thinking about this before. You know, let's say he stays in the race. All of these calls from everybody in the Republican Party to get out of the race, he's now doubly doomed, right? He's going to lose in November. This just makes it worse on some scale, though, if he stays in.
Let me put it this way.
Go ahead.
As clear as I can. Dead man walking. It's over. It's done. I mean, we agree on 100%. This. I think even Jessica, she won't say it.
I do.
But oh, you agree as well?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I think it would take some momentous acts for things to change.
Not only is he going to endanger the Senate for the Republicans, he's going to endanger the whole state of Missouri for Romney and Ryan, because there's no way they can campaign in Missouri without every question, not most questions, every single question being about Todd Akin.
I don't necessarily agree with that. They came out and disavowed him right away, and I don't think that it's going to be an easy thing for them to tie him to this going forward.
This is the perfect note on which to say we're going to be talking more about the wider electoral impact of this coming up in our next segment. But first, we want to keep this conversation going online. We want you to head over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/RichardFrenchLive to sound off, or you can join us on Twitter at @RichFrenchLive. You know all those addresses. Here's the question. Should Akin drop out of the race? There you see the information, and we'll get some of your comments coming up in a future episode. But when we return, we're going to show you how even though the GOP is trying to push Akin out of the race, they might actually be quietly supporting his platform. It's the politics of Akin and of abortion. That's next. Stay with us.